you ever just gaze at the perfection of nature? This is a purple cabbage leaf, and look at how beautiful it is. It's a piece of art. It is so phenomenal the way that nature creates such beauty. We're gonna make some soup. I already pulled out a few of the ingredients. I'm gonna cut everything up. Potato, carrots, ginger, and I have to pull out like more ingredients, but obviously I'm just gonna start bit by bit, chop these up, and then I'll move on. It's time to release the old identity so you can finally be the version of yourself you were always meant to be. See, breaking free of an old identity begins with noticing the stories you keep repeating about yourself, the quiet ones. When you say, I'm bad at this, I always react this way, I'll never follow through, I'm not the kind of person who can do that. This is just how I am, you know? You know those phrases that feel familiar. Familiarity doesn't make something true though, because sometimes you're carrying an identity that was formed around a season that you've already outgrown. It might have been from survival or disappointment or even somebody else's opinion. And it might have come from a version of you that was just doing the best that you could, you know? But at some time, you started to ask yourself, does this identity even belong to me? Does this limitation reflect who I'm really becoming? Expansion is when you stop rehearsing and you're allowed to become more capable than you even expected. You're allowed to let that old limitation expire. You can simply just start choosing from the version of you who is already opening. The version of you who's more available, you know, like that's where the real freedom comes from. Stop proving. I feel like there's so much performing going on. Sometimes the limitation is simply an old identity just asking to be released. Think about it that way. Hey, my loves. Some of you may already know this, but I'm the founder, creative director, and designer of the brand Aura. And I just wanted to share some of our collections with you. We have an Atelier, we have an academy, and we have a magazine. We also have podcast episodes, TV episodes, and all types of content. I'm a published author as well, so just check it out. Watch how popular natural nails are about to become. People are going to find new ways to keep their nails healthy, strong, and growing long. These are my natural nails. I've had natural nails ever since I was a teenager. I used to get my nails done, but I really didn't like the acrylic and everything like that. So I've been taking care of my nails ever since. So I found a book yesterday and I haven't checked it out yet, but this is what I found, and look how thick this book is. By the way, there's two doves building a nest right outside, so if you hear something in the background, that's what it is. So this book has 964 pages, and this is the author. Her name is Margaret George, and it's called The Memoirs of Cleopatra. So Cleopatra keeps coming up, and I think it's fascinating. So I figured, why not see what this is? It says The Memoirs of Cleopatra, a novel. Readers looking to be transported to another place and time will find their magic carpet here. That's from Publishers Weekly. And she's also the author of Mary Queen of Scotland and the Isles and the autobiography of Henry VIII, the New York Times bestseller Margaret George. So let's just see what exactly this is all about. This is what the inside looks like. Those doves are having a time out there. Ooh, look. This is why I love books, because of the little gems inside. The ancient world. Wow, that's very fascinating. And this is chapter 1. It says, The First Scroll. And I was just talking about ancient scrolls yesterday because we launched a collection on Aura of like stationery, journals, things like that. And the collection is called Aura Scribe. And I was talking about ancient scrolls and just papyrus and things like that. So, wow. I'll read a little bit to you. Warmth, wind, dancing blue waters, and the sound of waves. I see, hear, feel them all still. I even taste the sting of the salt against my lips, where the fine misty spray coats them, and closer even than that, the lulling, drowsy smell of my mother's skin by my nose, where she holds me against her bosom, her hand making a sunshade across my forehead to shield my eyes. The boat is gently rocking, and my mother is rocking me as well, so I sway to a double rhythm. It makes me very sleepy, and the sloshing of the water all around makes me a blanket of sound, wrapping me securely. I am held safely, cradled in love and watchfulness. I remember, I remember, and then the memory is torn apart, upended, overturned, as the boat must have been. My mother gone, and I tumbling through the air, caught by other arms, rough ones that grip so hard around my middle that I can hardly breathe. And the splashing, I can still hear the splashing, hear the brief, surprised cries. They say I could not possibly, that I was not yet 3 years old when my mother drowned in the harbor. Terrible accident, and on such a calm day. How did it ever happen? Was the boat tampered with? Did someone push? No. She just tripped and fell in while trying to stand up, and she couldn't swim. No, we didn't know that until it was too late. When did she go out in the water so often? She liked it, poor soul. Poor queen. Liked the sound and the colors. How does aura shift actually change your life? Well, different reaction, different result. And the more you shift your reactions, the more you shift your reality. Here's what I'm saying. Your reaction does not end with that one moment. It actually creates a domino effect. So let's just say someone sends you a vague text, and normally that would send you into some type of spiral. You'd start overthinking, you'd respond from a place of anxiety. You may try to pull reassurance out of this person, even though you see they're being unclear, probably on purpose. And then the same pattern just keeps repeating. But this time you shift. You see the reaction rising and you hold it instead of just acting on it immediately. You identify the old pattern, you flip the frequency, and then you choose to respond from self-respect instead of fear. And maybe that means you answer later, maybe it means you answer briefly, but you realize that you don't need to chase them. You don't need to chase clarity from somebody who's creating a lot of confusion in your life. Now look at what changed. You feel different, right? You behave differently. That dynamic starts to shift. And then over time, your reality begins reflecting the version of you who no longer responds from the old pattern. That's why I say different reaction, different result. Shift your reaction, shift your reality. That's the aura shift. Hey, my loves. I got hit by a car today. I got hit while I was riding my bike, and I just wanted to say, please be mindful when you're driving. Look out for pedestrians, look out for bikes. Just always check both ways and be as aware as you possibly can, because this could have been way worse, and I might not even be with you today. So, yeah, just take that into consideration whenever you're driving. And fortunately, I'm okay, but it's just one of those moments where you really feel like people have to be more mindful when they're driving.